There's a reality most men feel but rarely admit. No matter how much effort you put in, whether you're trying to impress her, show interest, or prove your worth, there comes a moment when things shift. Suddenly, her messages become slower, her attention fades, or she creates distance. And here's the truth. It usually isn't because you did something wrong. It's because you unknowingly broke the invisible rules that govern female attraction. Rules that exist deep in her instincts, long before she even thinks about them. These rules are automatic, unconscious, and rooted in evolution. They respond first to your stability, your ability to handle challenges, and the direction your life is going, not your compliments, charm, or effort. Many men believe that being kind, consistent, or attentive is what makes a woman attracted to them. But real attraction works on a deeper level. Women sense energy, confidence, and emotional strength before they notice words or gestures. Most men fail because they try to convince her with logic, attention, or effort. The truth is, female attraction doesn't respond to explanations or persuasion. It reacts to presence, emotional control, and resilience. When you master this, you stop chasing her reactions and start influencing how she feels around you, almost automatically. Machiavelli knew this centuries ago. True influence doesn't come from trying to be liked. It comes from perception, timing, and presence. Women notice strength silently. They feel it, even if they can't explain why. In this video, we'll uncover 3 powerful secrets about female nature that will completely change how women see you and how you understand them. Secret 1. The power of unseen presence. From the very moment a woman notices you, she begins forming an impression of who you are. This isn't something she consciously decides. It happens almost instantly, even before you speak a word. What she picks up on is not your jokes, clever lines, or attempts to impress her. Instead, she senses your energy, your confidence, and the stability you carry inside. These early impressions are quiet and invisible, yet they play a huge role in how she perceives you from the very beginning. Many men completely miss this. They think being charming, giving compliments, or showing off their wit is enough to win her over. They over-explain themselves, respond too quickly, or try too hard to make a good impression. Every one of these actions, even when subtle, sends signals of insecurity or neediness. What she notices most isn't what you say, it's the emotion behind your behavior. If your body language, tone, or reactions suggest you are desperate for approval, she will notice. Instinctively, she will see you as someone who lacks composure, which makes you less attractive. This is why your presence matters far more than your words. How you carry yourself, your posture, your calmness, and the way you occupy space quietly all send powerful messages. If you enter a room or start a conversation without rushing, fidgeting, or trying to dominate attention, you communicate that you are independent and self-sufficient. You exist in your own world and don't rely on her approval to feel good about yourself. This naturally sparks curiosity. Humans are drawn to things they cannot fully predict or control, and a calm, confident presence triggers that curiosity. At the core of this principle is emotional neutrality. Being emotionally neutral doesn't mean being cold, distant, or unfeeling. It means having full control over your inner state regardless of what is happening around you. You don't react impulsively to her actions, words, or any subtle tests she might give. You don't chase validation or try to gain her approval. Instead, you stay calm, observe, and respond deliberately. Every pause, every measured movement, and every moment you resist overreacting reinforces the impression of strength and composure. Take messaging as an example. If she takes longer to reply than you expect, many men immediately feel anxious or insecure. They might send follow-up messages, apologize, or try to explain themselves. These behaviors show urgency and neediness, which she notices instinctively. But if you remain patient, maintain your energy, and don't react emotionally, you are communicating a far stronger message. You are comfortable in your own world and don't depend on external validation. This subtle strength creates attraction naturally. The same applies during face-to-face conversations. Many men feel the need to fill every silence with words, jokes, or explanations, thinking that if they stop talking, she will lose interest. But silence is a powerful tool when used correctly. It communicates emotional stability and inner strength. Strategic pauses, calm responses, and choosing words carefully make your presence dominate the interaction rather than your words. The less you feel the need to explain or perform, the more powerful your emotional authority becomes. She senses that you are not trying to earn her approval, which naturally draws her attention. Your body language plays an equally important role. Posture, breathing, and small movements communicate far more than words. Standing tall, keeping your chest slightly open, breathing steadily, and moving calmly show confidence and control. Even subtle facial expressions matter. A relaxed face, soft but steady eye contact, and deliberate gestures communicate composure and self-assurance. On the other hand, fidgeting, quick movements, nervous smiles, or darting eyes signal instability, even if your words sound confident. It's important to understand that women are not consciously judging you in these early moments. Their brains are wired to notice subtle signals automatically. Evolution has programmed them to pick up on emotional and behavioral cues that indicate stability, reliability, and strength, traits that historically marked a man as a desirable partner. This explains why men often feel confused when a woman suddenly loses interest despite their best efforts. The decision was made unconsciously in milliseconds, long before any conscious thought or conversation took place. The key to mastering this hidden power is consistent practice. Train yourself to maintain calm and composure in all situations. Pay attention to your posture, breathing, and movements. Learn to observe without reacting immediately. Practice speaking deliberately and only when necessary, avoiding desperate attempts to impress. Reduce the urge to fill silence, justify yourself, or overperform. Each small improvement in presence builds upon the last, strengthening the natural magnetic pull you create. A man who understands this hidden power becomes almost impossible to ignore. He does not seek approval, compete for attention, or rely on excessive words or gestures. Instead, his energy, presence, and emotional composure quietly communicate value. Women instinctively notice this, and their curiosity is naturally sparked. By mastering this principle, you shift from being reactive to being influential in how women perceive you. Your presence itself becomes a signal of strength, stability, and confidence, long before a single word is spoken. Ultimately, this is about mastering yourself. You cannot control her reactions, but you can control how you show up. By focusing on your inner state, staying calm, and projecting silent strength, you influence how she experiences your presence. This becomes the foundation of attraction, an invisible but powerful force shaped by instinct and perfected by men who understand it. When you embody this power, you no longer worry about saying the right words or performing tricks to impress. You become magnetic simply by existing the way you do. Your presence communicates strength, authority, and value effortlessly. This quiet but undeniable power lays the groundwork for all other interactions. Master it, and you step into a realm where you are noticed, remembered, and desired long before you speak a word. Secret 2. How women test a man's emotional strength. Women have a subtle, instinctive way of assessing men. Long before they consciously decide if they are attracted, they run quiet, almost invisible tests to see if a man is emotionally steady and reliable. These tests are rarely obvious. They do not show up as big arguments or clear confrontations. Instead, they appear in small, everyday moments. A teasing remark, a playful challenge, a slight pause in conversation, or a minor provocation. Women instinctively observe these moments to judge whether a man can stay calm under pressure or whether he reacts impulsively. Most men fail these tests without even realizing it. When faced with a small challenge, they overreact. They feel the need to explain themselves, justify their actions, or defend their words. Even if their reasoning seems logical, this behavior sends a silent signal: insecurity, emotional dependence, or instability. Women pick up on this almost instantly. They don't consciously think, "He is anxious," but their instincts recognize the signs and attraction begins to fade. The secret to passing these instinctive tests is simple: remain composed. Emotional composure is more than staying calm. It is the ability to observe without reacting immediately, to respond intentionally, and to project quiet strength without needing to prove anything. When a woman tests you, it's not a trap, it's an opportunity. How you react matters far more than what she actually says. Every small test is a chance to show that you are steady, grounded, and in control of yourself. To apply this principle effectively, focus on 3 areas: your voice, your body language, and your responses. Your voice should be calm, deliberate, and steady. Speak slowly, clearly, and with intention. Avoid rushing to fill silence or over-explaining yourself. A calm, measured voice communicates confidence, emotional strength, and control without saying a word. Your body language should reflect your inner composure. Stand or sit in a relaxed yet confident posture. Keep your chest open, shoulders back, and movements smooth and purposeful. Microsigns like fidgeting, rapid eye movements, or nervous smiles reveal insecurity. A steady, neutral expression shows strength and self-control, even in moments of subtle challenge. Your responses should be concise, confident, and sometimes light-hearted. Humor works particularly well. A playful, calm reaction to a minor provocation shows that you are not easily shaken. Avoid over-explaining or defending yourself unnecessarily. Every extra word can make you appear insecure. Women are naturally drawn to men who remain steady, unshaken, and capable of handling small challenges with ease. For example, imagine she teases you about something small, like your clothing or a tiny mistake. Most men feel compelled to explain, apologize, or defend themselves. But a calm, light response, perhaps even humorous, signals control and confidence. She notices that you do not crumble under minor pressure, which increases your attractiveness. Another common situation is delayed communication. If she takes time to reply to a message, many men panic, overthink, or send multiple follow-ups to fix the situation. This behavior shows neediness. A man who stays calm, continues his life, and responds thoughtfully when appropriate demonstrates stability and self-possession. These qualities instinctively attract women. This principle has deep roots in human evolution. Historically, women needed men who could remain calm under stress, men who were reliable, protective, and capable of handling challenges. Emotional instability signals risk. Men who react impulsively, argue unnecessarily, or constantly seek approval are seen as unsafe and unpredictable. Women's subtle tests measure exactly this. The ultimate goal is to embody calm authority. You do not need to dominate or control. Instead, you show inner strength by remaining composed in the face of small provocations or emotional tests. Neutral expressions, slow speech, and confident posture create a sense of stability and security. This subtle tension between calm confidence and mild challenge naturally generates attraction. Practicing this in daily life is essential, not just in romantic situations. Every interaction is an opportunity to strengthen emotional resilience. By staying calm during minor provocations, composure eventually becomes second nature. You stop overreacting, and your energy naturally communicates that you are unshakable. Secret 2 is ultimately about understanding women's instinctive tests and responding in ways that demonstrate reliability, confidence, and inner strength. These tests are not traps. They are nature's way of identifying men who can handle life's pressures. By reacting calmly, lightly, and deliberately, you signal that you control your energy, are emotionally resilient, and capable of managing challenges with composure. Mastering this secret changes the way women perceive you. You stop reacting emotionally and begin projecting strength effortlessly. Women notice this instinctively, even if they cannot articulate why. Emotional resilience becomes part of your presence, quietly signaling value. Once you consistently show that you remain composed under subtle tests, you move from being just another man to someone reliable, magnetic, and naturally attractive. Secret 3. Why women are drawn to men who are always growing. Women are naturally attracted to men who are moving forward in life. Men who are growing, learning, and actively creating something for themselves. From the very first interaction, she can sense whether a man has his own life, direction, and purpose, or whether he is waiting for her approval, reacting to her decisions, or simply revolving around her world. It doesn't matter how smart, charming, or kind a man is. If he shows hesitation, passivity, or lack of direction, his value in her eyes drops immediately. True attraction is not about what you already have or what you can do. It's about where you are heading and the energy you carry. Growth does not mean controlling others or trying to dominate. It means having a clear purpose, a path, and consistent progress. It is about making small decisions, taking initiative, and showing the confidence to lead in daily life without being aggressive. Things like choosing where to go, giving your opinion, planning small details, or taking responsibility for choices communicate that you are a man with direction. These small actions, when done consistently, show that you are developing yourself and building something bigger than just day-to-day survival. Women pick up on these signals naturally. A man who is passive, reactive, or constantly waiting for others' validation appears smaller and less attractive. On the other hand, a man with energy, focus, and forward motion is naturally magnetic. She can sense it without you needing to explain anything. This energy makes her feel drawn to you because it communicates strength, growth, and potential. The most attractive men are not perfect or fully accomplished. They are evolving. They are always learning, creating, and expanding their lives. This energy is irresistible because it promises life with them will be dynamic, exciting, and meaningful. Women are instinctively wired to respond to growth. They are attracted to men who move towards something bigger, not men who wait for the world or others to define their lives. Moving forward in life also shows independence. A man who builds his own path does not depend on a woman's attention, approval, or validation. This independence makes him more attractive because it balances the relationship. She feels drawn to his energy naturally, not because she has to, but because he radiates purpose. His actions show he leads his own life, giving her the emotional freedom to connect without feeling pressured or manipulated. Even if a man's goals are small or still in progress, what matters most is clarity and direction. Momentum and growth matter far more than achievements or wealth. Women can feel whether a man is moving forward, learning, and building himself. A man who actively grows, even in small steps, communicates strength, capability, and life energy, qualities that are deeply attractive. To show this instinct in action, focus on your own goals, projects, and personal development. Learn new skills, create routines, and consistently work toward improvement. Share your progress naturally without bragging. Small steps done consistently speak louder than long speeches or explanations. Women sense energy, focus, and momentum more than words. This forward motion also changes how interactions unfold. A man who leads his own life subtly sets the rhythm in relationships. He does not react to every comment, emotion, or situation. Instead, he guides interactions naturally, creating a sense of stability, competence, and confidence. This energy is quietly powerful, showing that he is in control of himself without needing to control others. Ultimately, women are drawn to men who are building themselves, moving forward, and creating momentum in life. When a man embraces this principle, he no longer seeks approval or validation. His energy, purpose, and growth attract women naturally. He becomes the kind of man who is not only noticed, but desired, remembered, and sought after, simply because he is actively evolving and leading himself. A man who masters this secret does not need to impress, chase, or compete. He exists as a force in motion, and women are naturally drawn to his presence. Growth, competence, and future potential speak louder than charm, words, or displays. This silent, magnetic energy is the true driver of attraction. Once you understand it and live it, your presence becomes undeniable, natural, and irresistible. Machiavelli taught that real influence doesn't come from trying hard, being charming, or using clever words. True power comes from understanding the hidden rules that guide human behavior. When it comes to attraction, women respond instinctively and emotionally, picking up on subtle signals that most men completely miss. They notice energy, confidence, and stability long before words matter. Most men fail because they focus on surface-level actions, compliments, jokes, or over-explaining themselves, while real attraction is shaped by unconscious cues, small tests, and the way they are perceived. The 3 secrets: silent selection, staying emotionally stable under tests, and continuous personal growth. Unlock the hidden dynamics of desire. These aren't tricks, they are principles that signal value and strength naturally. Knowledge alone isn't enough. To become magnetic, you must consistently practice calm presence, self-control, and purposeful action. Stand tall, move deliberately, speak thoughtfully, and resist the urge to overreact. Over time, these small habits build a quiet authority that women instinctively notice and are drawn to. Start applying these principles today. Focus on mastering yourself, your energy, and your presence. The more you practice, the more natural your influence becomes. Watch your confidence grow, your interactions improve, and your magnetic pull become undeniable. Subscribe now to channel to uncover more hidden truths about influence, attraction, and human psychology. Don't just understand, learn to embody power that gets noticed.